Hello, firearms friends. Joel Colander here for Rock Island Auction Company. I'm here in the preview hall for sort of a twofold video. Now, one, we always, of course, encourage people to come to preview day. That's the day before our premiere and our sporting collector auctions, because you are surrounded by a potential firearms education. Where else can you compare and contrast different models like the Henry rifle or the M1 Garand or Winchester 76s and really put a side-by-side comparison and compare conditions, compare price ranges, compare options, and all sorts of things. Like, where else can you do that but at, the world's biggest gun auctions? So that's one reason. And the other one is to show you some of the phenomenal ones we have in-house. This is just from one given auction. This is actually out of our May Premier Firearms Auction 2022. And frankly, this is going to be one of several videos that shows some of the Civil War long arms in the sale. Not to promote them for the sale, we are going to view this or air this after the fact, but just to show, like, there's so many examples of Civil War carbines, a fantastic collection that came in that are so high condition. It's really an excellent chance to show you, a lot of people see sort of the middle ground for these collectible firearms. And then you see good, and there's better, and there's best, and frankly, then there's guns that are elite. And that's what we hope to show you with these next few videos, or that will, coming out over the next few weeks, are some of these elite level guns and how they compare and what you can expect, maybe even for a price estimate on some of them. So without further ado, you can see behind me on the table, we have 4 Henry lever action rifles from New Haven Arms, of course, and we're gonna go from good to very good to near excellent. And the differences are gonna become apparent. They're probably apparent to you already, even at this distance, but, and oddly, they're arranged sort of not in the chronological order you'd think of. So the latest model Henry is actually our good example, and they get sort of older as they go. So counterintuitive that the earliest Henrys, which would have had the most opportunity to see combat and conflict, is our finest condition one on the waterfall. Go figure. So starting at the bottom with the late example Henry, you can probably already see from there, our barrel, in contrast to our top, as this sort of mottled gray-brown patina. To its credit, it does have its fully intact rear ladder sight, which still flips up quite nicely. Still has its front sight. The edges aren't what you're going to see in some of our later condition ones. They're a bit rounded, especially on these, especially easy to see on these octagonal barrels and parts of the frame as well. You come back, the frame, of course, shows some dings, but there's a lot going for it. Even in something that's we have listed as a good level Henry, the fit of the side plates to the receiver is tight. That's something that we definitely like to see. We don't see any buggering here on the pins on the back. We continue back from the pins and screws. We can see that our hammer and lever, you can still see shapes of the case hardening, but for the most part, they're patinaed out as well. Coming back further, we look at our wood to metal fit. Now that's something, of course, along with edges, is really going to determine the good from the elite level collectibles. And here you can see we do have some gap here by the upper tang. Screws still look fantastic, but we also have some cracks coming down the stock from this top tang. Flipping around to the other side, we can start to see why this one is good as opposed to very good. We're missing our swivel here on the butt. We have a discoloration, probably from a sticker or label that was applied to the left side of the frame, and we even have someone's initials that they've inscribed onto the left side plate here. And of course, as you look around it, there's evidence of cleaning. There's plenty of dings, and I don't want to say gouges in the metal. That implies they're pretty deep, but it's good wear and tear that's on this receiver. We can come down even further if you like further example of a wood to metal finish. Boy, you will find that on the butt stock, or on the butt plate. Now this is pretty tight. We do have a slight buggering to the screw, and of course some chips around here by the lower tang, and that is pretty indicative of a good level Henry. Now, there's still a lot going for it as far as being mechanically sound. That's a nice click you like to hear. There's good springs involved. Elevator works. That's all stuff you like to see on a Henry. On a good level like this, you start to see what I would call good or beginner collector or entry-level Henry right around $20,000, and that would be apropos for our estimate on this, which is $16,000 to $25,000. On to the next with our very good Henry, or at least the first of 2 very good Henrys. You can already see a distinct difference here between the barrels. We have a nice uniform brown patina. We still do have rounded edges. but none of the gray showing through that we do on our lower example. Looks like we have a little buckhorn sight here on the back as opposed to our ladder. And coming back on to the receiver, still nice fit on the side plates to the receiver. Boy, that's something we like to see. Still a lot of dings you associate with use. No real true gouges. Flip it over here by the upper tang. That wood to metal fit is still what I would consider pretty loose on this one, but no chips like we saw on the other one. But there are some gaps there. Absolutely no gaps down here by the butt plate. Giving it a quick flip over. This reveals the same thing. A little bit of gap between our wood to metal fit. Slight damage to the screw head, but nothing to write home about. Overall, again, a very good Henry. Nice clear markings here. The address is still, hasn't been smoothed over or polished or anything like that. It's still very legible serial number. There's a lot going on for this, but more important than the uniform condition of the side plate here is probably the side plate on the other side, which is inscribed to an identified Civil War soldier. So not quite an apples to apples comparison with our good, especially when you're talking about value. Anything that's identifiable to an individual soldier who used this in combat is going to drive the value pretty significantly. You can even see perhaps what would have been like battlefield work done or trying to open the side plate to try to fix a gun. So, but also puts the condition into a relative state, right? So a gun that wouldn't have seen battlefield use, you'd expect to see in higher condition. One that almost guaranteed saw battlefield use, you'd expect to be in a little rougher condition. So for this to be documented on the side to an individual soldier who almost entirely likely carried this during battle, as opposed to one that didn't, ranks this as very good given its history. Above that very good Henry, we have another very good Henry rifle. This one Marshall as well, but this one official Marshall, and there aren't very many of them that were purchased by the U.S. for contract. Earlier serial number, you're looking at the first quarter of production. This is serial number 3146, and this went to the 1st DC and defended Washington, D.C. during the Civil War, so it saw combat. Our catalog officially has this listed in very good condition, but it's an impressive, very good condition, again, especially relative to the service it saw. Here we're starting to see sharper edges, especially towards the end of the barrel and magazine tube. This is definitely what you like to see. Your ladder sight is still here and clicks nicely into place. Excellent uniform patina. Fewer dings, fewer scratches than we've seen on our other examples by far. It's a significant difference. You can still see hints of the case coloring in the grade, especially in the back end, the protected area of the hammer. The lever has the same brown patina. Now, here's where we really get into some of the differences. Letters are tiny and crisp and wonderfully marked still. Wood to metal fit is significantly tighter and noticeable. Like, it's a small difference. You're talking difference of millimeters, but when you're meeting up metal to wood, like, that matters. It absolutely matters. There's no chips in the corners or sensitive areas. There is a crack on this one side of the comb. The wood to metal finish on the butt plate is fantastic. This screw is near pristine. These screws are near pristine. These screws are near pristine. This is an impressive model, and of course, having seen government issue, which by the way is probably the one thing that for a government issued Henry rifle, you're definitely going to want to see are those military inspector marks, and those are still there, and they are crisp as well, both on the receiver and the breech end of the barrel. This is exactly what you want to see for DC issued, like Civil War combat scene Henry rifle. It's very good, but it's an impressive very good. Now, I've been talking a good deal about the wood to metal finish because that's one of those small details that makes things good, great, elite. I haven't talked a lot about the wood itself. You'll see a fair number of, impressions or scratches on these, but what you're really going to see, you'll be able to see from back there, and that's when we move from very good to near excellent. And I'm going to just let those sit on the rack and do the talking for themselves. When you start to see the grain of the wood, when you start to see levels of varnish appearing, and just the color and how well they've been preserved, the one on the top stands alone. Now, from my distance, I can also see too, even though they've all had an excellent wood to metal fit, the top is no exception. It doesn't even have like a spot where there might be a little gap. It is absolutely snug. And then, of course, what else can you see from back there but the barrels? Now, we've gone from a brown gray mottled patina to brown patina to this beautiful, I'm going to say 85% blued, original bluing on the barrel and magazine tube. This is a special gun. This is a special Henry, and the fact that it's a 3-digit number 884, first model. Kevin Hogan has put this in his top 10 video for our May premiere auction. We'll throw a link to that up in the corner, and rightfully so. This is an exceptional Henry rifle, fully intact ladder sight, and it clicks into place. I'm gonna get this up to the mic. Click. That level of detail is what makes this above and beyond. Side plates, flawless. Screws and pins, flawless. Beautiful uniform patina, no scratches, no gouges, no dings, like minimal handling marks whatsoever. This is a fantastic Henry. And we go from 85% original blue on the barrel magazine tube to 75% case coloring still on the hammer. You even have case colorings here on the protected areas of the lever, especially towards the top here in the pin. It is a phenomenal Henry rifle, and an early Henry rifle. Like it sort of defies convention that this exists the way it does. No cracks underneath here. Wood to metal fit, uniform throughout. The screws are still indexed. Like this is a Henry that's difficult to improve upon. It's why we call it near excellent. This is absolutely superb. There's a couple handling marks in the wood here, a couple scrapes, but the varnish is still here. The wood is beautiful. There's a reason it's rated what it is. There's a reason we call it Near Excellent Plus, and there's a reason that the price tag for this one, our estimate, a pre-auction estimate, is $110,000 to $190,000. This is towards top tier of collecting of Henry rifles. It is absolutely fantastic. So we hope this has been an informative video with some Henry rifles. This is one of the reasons, of course, we tell you to come to Preview Day. There is a gun education in this room to be had. And the guns on this table exemplify that. This is where you're able to compare condition levels. You're able to compare price levels. You're able to see what makes the best the best. So we say that just for Preview Day, but we're also here to share it because we don't get Henrys of that level in-house every day. And we're the #1 firearms auction house in the world. So we really wanted to take the opportunity to show you what that elite level Henry lever action rifle is like, how that compares to ones you might more commonly find, and which one you might want to add to your collection. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to have a series of these videos on various Civil War carbines, so subscribe now. You won't miss any, and until next time, keep that powder dry.